Okay, so let's start one new chapter, new topic, that is thermodynamics. So in one of the chapter we have discussed about thermal properties of matter. Thermal properties of matter. So in the thermal properties of matter, we have discussed about two physical parameters, special parameter, that was the temperature. This temperature actually gives the direction of flow of heat energy, and the measuring techniques of this temperature depending on different scales on the basis of boiling and melting, freezing and boiling point of water. And we have 3-4 types of scales for the measurement of temperature. And the second, that the special term, that was the heat. That heat is actually the energy. So this is that heat. It is another physical parameters related to thermal properties of matter. And if there is a temperature difference, then the flow of heat energy. And we have discussed some other physical parameters on this heat that is related to that specific heats, etc. And also the conduction of this heat energy in form of three terms, that is conduction, convection, radiation, and all these, and the conduction of heat, the law of conduction of heat we have discussed in this chapter. And in this chapter now, this in the term, we will again reconsider these terms, temperature and heat. But one more term is used here, that is the dynamics. Dynamics, this is the motion. So actually, here this in this dynamics, the thermal dynamics means the temperature, that the heat energy, that is in moving form, means this is in the transforming form, one form to another form. Initially, this heat was not taken as energy. This was the motion of this heat. This was just taken as the motion of fluid in the pore of that material. So if let's say we have this material, and if there is the temperature difference, this is T1 and T2, and this materials, this is made up of so many atoms, molecules, and then the heat, this was taken as the flow of that one liquid in between these pores of these materials, between these atoms, and this fluidic part, this liquid part of that heat, that was known as calorie. So that calorimeter or calorie term, this was taken from this term calorie. Caloric is that fluidic part of that heat. Initially this was taken in the ancient time, but after some time this theory was just rejected, and it was taken that this is just the energy flow from high temperature to lower temperature. So heat is taken as the form of energy, and if this is the form of energy, means there is that law of conservation of energy. And if there is law of conservation of energy, means heat can be converted into work, work can be converted into heat. In mechanics also we have also studied the same, that work can be converted into energy, energy can be converted into work. That is known as energy work theorem. So energy work theorem is also applicable in this case of heat energy. So heat energy can be converted into other form of energy. Okay, so also we have discussed about the molecular theory of this terms. So we will discuss that molecular theory again in this particular unit. So in the thermodynamic, this is the study of motion of thermal energy. Dynamics is the motion. So this is the study of thermal parameters. Obviously physical parameters, and in the thermal parameters, that is the heat, temperature, and the conversion of heat energy to other form of energy. So the thermodynamic, this is the dynamic of thermal energy. So in this chapter we will study this thermal parameters, obviously heat and temperature, and some correlated parameters also, and the conversion of this heat energy into other form of energy, because we are considering this heat as the complete energy term. Okay, some more parameters and other parameters we will also corresponding parameters we will take. We have that pressure, we have that volume, and that temperature is already considered here. So we will consider all those terms, and even that mass, that mole. If we think about that gas molecules, gas atoms, then we will take about that moles. Substance also that. So all these things we will use in this particular chapter. So some more terms. So one term we will use, that is thermodynamical system. Thermodynamical system. System means that is just that may be matter, solid, liquid, gas. So we will use this term, this thermodynamical system. So this is the state of matter. State of matter may be solid, liquid, gas, in any form. 8. The constant thermodynamical conditions. Constant thermodynamical conditions. Constant thermodynamical conditions means pressure, temperature, and volume. So if any system that is it is in a particular pressure, a particular volume, having particular volume and a temperature, then that is known as a thermodynamical system. So if this is that thermodynamical system, this is that body, it has a particular pressure P, it has a volume A, and the temperature maintained is T. We can consider also the mass. So this is, it has the mass M, just we can take in terms of mole. Then this is known as thermodynamical system. This is thermodynamical system. And other parts, the neighboring parts, the other parts, this is known as surroundings. So one thermodynamical system, this is in the universe. So it is surrounded by the nature. So this is the surroundings, and this is the system under study. And this system may be classified into two parts. One is isolated, one isolated system, and second is just it is open system. Isolated system means all these parameters, thermal parameters are constant. There is no flow of heat energy from this system to neighboring surrounding. So this is known as isolated system. And in open system, all thermal properties, thermal parameters are changeable. It can be changed because it's open. From the surroundings, it can take heat energy, it can give heat energy to that system. So it's a temperature, pressure, volume, this may be changed. So this is open system. So this system, thermodynamical system, can be classified into isolated system. If all of these parameters are constant, because there is no transfer of heat energy, there is no transfer of heat from that system to surroundings or surroundings to that system. And if it is open, if that thermal energy, it is transferred from system to that isolated, neighboring surroundings. Okay. So next term we will use, that is thermodynamical equilibrium. So thermodynamical equilibrium. Equilibrium term, this is the common term used in physics. Equilibrium force, net force is 0. That system is stable, then this is equilibrium. Equilibrium means that this actually defines the stability of the system. In the mechanical equilibrium means that net force is 0, potential energy is minimum, then it's known as equilibrium. So here there is the term the thermodynamical equilibrium or thermal equilibrium, means that system is stable in terms of all the thermal parameters. So if the thermal parameters means that is temperature, pressure and volume of a system of a given amount of system, and especially I can write gas, liquid, solid, whatever. So given amount of that matter with respect to time is constant with respect to time, then that system is known to be in thermal equilibrium. So the temperature, pressure, volume of any system, given amount of system, that the mass and that amount, it is also considered here. So if it is constant, then that is known as constant with respect to time. Remember this, the time parameter is here. So if it is constant with respect to time, there is no change in with time, then that system is known as thermal equilibrium system. So generally, if we have such type of system, let's have this is that boundary, and one gas is here and another gas is here, and the physical conditions for this gas, let's say its pressure is P1, its temperature is T1, and the volume is V1. Especially हम जब thermal की बात करते हैं तो especially we take that temperature terms more prominent, and this is that gas volume and pressure is, let's say that P2, V2 and T2, and this boundary it's classified, it is two parts. This boundary is known as one is adiabatic separation, and second one is, this is also known as so this is adiabatic separator or wall, and this is known as isothermal separator or wall. So this is a glass gas container. Gas A is here, gas B is here at different temperature, and there is one wall, and this wall may be adiabatic wall or isothermal wall. Adiabatic wall means it's a rigid one. There is no it's a non-conductor of heat. Conductor of heat or temperature. So heat cannot be conducted from one part to another part, and this is that isothermal means it is the conductor of heat. Okay, so if this wall is adiabatic, means if there is no change in there is no conduction of heat from one part to another part, then obviously that A will have the same pressure, temperature and volume, and we will have this that P2, B2 and T2. There will be no change in its thermal parameters because this is adiabatic. But if we use this isothermal separator, which now heat can be transferred from A to B, B to A, depending on this temperature. If this T1 is, let's say, if this T1 it is greater than T2, then heat will transfer from A to B, and after some instant of time, here that time parameter is now in use. So after some times, the temperature becomes constant, and that is T, and there will be no transfer of heat. So that time where the temperature is constant, there is no transfer of heat, and that pressure and volume, all other physical parameters is constant for these two systems, then that is known as thermal equilibrium. Also, we can think about the liquid also. For the liquid, this is for the gas. If we can also think for the liquid. If we have a container, this is that container containing liquid of temperature. Let's say this is the temperature T1, and there is another container containing this T2. And if this T1 is greater than T2, and we pour this liquid, or when we use one tube like this, if we use tube in between this, means that liquid can flow from one part to another part. Then after some instant of time, this temperature T1 and T2 will become constant, that is T or T3. So the temperature will be same. After some instant of time, and at that time this system is known as the thermal equilibrium. Okay, so thermal equilibrium is that condition where there is no transfer of heat from any part of that liquid. Each and every parts of that liquid, pressure, volume, as well as especially that temperature term, that is constant. Okay, so this is thermal equilibrium, and for this thermal equilibrium we have zeroth law of thermodynamics. I think zeroth law of thermodynamics. So for this, let us have one thought experiment. Let's say this is that gas chamber, specially designed gas chamber, and this is A, B, and this is C. Okay, so this is the gas chamber, specially designed, and here this wall and these two walls are being used, and this wall is adiabatic. This is adiabatic wall, means there is no transfer of heat from A to B, and this wall, this is isothermal wall. Yeah, dithermic also, this is also known as isodithermic wall or dithermic, this term is also used. Dithermic wall means heat can be transferred from this to that. Okay, so initially it's a temperature, let's say this is TA, this is TB, and this is TC. What is happening? This is adiabatic, means there is no transfer of heat energy from this to this. But this is isothermal, means that heat energy from this system can be transferred to this, and this system can be transferred to this. Means after some instant of time, the temperature of this TA, this is equal to that TC, and this temperature of this chamber B, this is obviously equal to that C, because this is isothermal. So in equilibrium, what will happen? This TA, this becomes TC, and TB, this also becomes TC. So mathematically what we can say? We can say that TA, this is equal to TB. So after some instant of time, the temperature that will be identical for the complete whole system. So in terms of statement form, we can write if any thermodynamical system, if a thermodynamical system C is in equilibrium, equilibrium means thermal equilibrium, in equilibrium with two separate systems, systems A and B, then system A and B will also be in thermal equilibrium with same temperature. This is zeroth law of thermodynamics. So if this is C, this C is in equilibrium with A and in equilibrium with B individually, separately, then this A and B, this will be also in thermal equilibrium. Why? Because after some instant of time, temperature becomes constant. Because of the flow of heat from this system to this system to this. This is open in that direction. And this equilibrium is just a thermal equilibrium. And we have some other equilibrium terms used in this chapter. So first write this statement. If a thermodynamical system C, this thermodynamical system C is equilibrium with A and this B separately, then this A, this will be thermodynamically equilibrium to this system B. This is the zeroth law of thermodynamics. In your chemistry also there is that equilibrium, the thermodynamics is there. And there the chemical equilibrium will be used. So with this thermodynamical equilibrium, that chemical equilibrium is used. So what is that chemical equilibrium? You should also know about. Two more terms can be used in equilibrium. That is the chemical equilibrium and second is mechanical equilibrium. So if there is no chemical flow or chemical reaction between two systems, two chemical system, obviously, two systems, then that is known as in chemical equilibrium. Means that two systems are chemically in contact, and if there is no reaction, further reaction after some instant of time, maybe initially some reaction may start, but after some instant of time there is no chemical reaction between these two systems, then that is known as chemical equilibrium. So in chemistry you will use this. And in mechanical equilibrium, if we have this liquid and this is a piston, and we are using vat here. Obviously this is liquid or gas, so this is compressible. So after such certain instant of time, if the new position of this piston, this is like this. Now this is the new position of that system. Now it is at static form. So initial, this is the initial. When we put this mass here, the liquid or gas that will be compressed, and after some instant of time, this is the new position of the system, and now that system is in stable form. There is no further movement of that piston in the downward direction. Then this is known as mechanical equilibrium. So that thermodynamical equilibrium actually consists with the thermal parameters are constant with respect to time, and we can also use in somewhere that chemical equilibrium terms and mechanical equilibrium in this chapter. Now, one more term used in this chapter, that is internal energy. Internal energy. So, internal energy, this is one more term we will use here. So, what happens when we increase the temperature of a system? And we have discussed in the last chapter related to thermal properties of matter. When we increase the temperature of a solid, the intermolecular force, interatomic force is very strong, and if this is that solid, and another form obviously particles, when we increase the temperature of this system, then since this is bounded, this is a rigid, there is not a possibility of shifting of atoms or molecules from its initial position. So only the atoms can vibrate. Okay, so if atom is vibrating, means that the position may be little bit changed, but in the vibrational motion. So the atoms may have vibrational motion, and that energy is vibrational energy. And in one of the chapter we will study that harmonic motion, periodic motion, vibrational motion, and there we will have that energy terms also, vibrational energy, and that is some sort of that kinetic and potential energy. So especially if there is a fixed position between two atoms, let's say these are two atoms, and there is a fixed distance, and that distance is relatively in vibrating mode, then this energy will be stored will be in form of potential energy. And in liquid and also in gas, we can consider both together, because slightly differences are in between this liquid and gas. So the interatomic force, intermolecular force is weaker with compared to this solid. So when we increase the temperature of this is that liquid, when we increase the temperature, so the atoms or molecules will have that atoms, molecules, these are free to move, these are in the volatile form. So these are the atoms and molecules, these are free to move from one place to another. So here only vibrational motion is possible, but in this case the translation and rotational and also that vibrational motion. If there is a translation motion, so there will be kinetic energy, because we are just considering this heat as energy. So temperature, when we are increasing that temperature, so that temperature is converting in form of that energy. So there will be the kinetic energy. So the energy will be stored in the system in form of kinetic as well as potential energy. Okay, so what we are observing here, that when we when we give that heat energy to that system, or when we increase that temperature to that system, then that in molecular level, in atomic level, that energy that is stored in form of either potential energy, especially in potential energy. If that atom is fixed, rigid, it's not free to move from one place to another place, just like in solid, there will be vibrational motion, and that energy will be stored in form of potential energy. Or in case of liquid or gas, where the atoms or molecules are free to move from one place to another place, then the motion will be translation, rotational, and vibrational is also there. So that energy, that will be in form of kinetic and potential energy. And these, some of this energy, this is known as internal energy. So the internal energy, this is energy of a thermodynamical system. Thermodynamical system is stored in form of kinetic and potential energy, due to random motion of atoms or molecules. Because this motion, this is not the fixed motion, random motion. Because of this random motion of atoms and molecules, the energy will be either kinetic or potential energy, and the sum of this kinetic and potential energy, this is known as internal energy. So that U, it is represented by U, it is equivalent to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay, so for the today's class, I think all these thermal parameters are quite enough. In the next class, we will discuss first law of thermodynamics and related the work that work done, calculated work in different thermal conditions. Okay, thank you.